Welcome, one and all, folks and fellas. Tonight we have the 11th tourney of the Super Smash Bros. Crusade CMC CPU Tournament Series, Who Reigns Richest? Our roster theme for this one is Rerunner-ups Part 3. With another set of tourneys, we've got more losers than winners, dropping out at the first round. Our mixed bag of battlers are all ready to give it their best once more, with feeling. To introduce tonight's money-making matchers, we have Mami Tomoe, 2B, Sanji, Ike, Thor, Palutena, Count Black, Megalore, Edward Elric, Koronge, Weiss Schnee, Yoshikage Kira, Link, Ephraim, Hoshino, and Gui. These matches will be one round single elimination. Whichever competitor has the most coins by the end of 3 minutes will move on to the next round. No items, random stages, final smash on. With our fighters at the ready and the conditions set, it's time to see who reigns richest. We move over to our main screen and get Gui out of here. He was sticking around a little bit too long. We go here, and it's not even properly set up yet. The movie magic is gone. The movie magic is back. So, we hit this button, and it's seamless. We can raise this a little bit, right? Yeah. That's a good amount. So, we start off with, who is this here? Mami Tomoe versus 2B. Both gun-wielding girls. One, well, I guess you can call 2B a girl. She's an android, but she's made to be a girl. And Mami Tomoe, the magical girl who kind of got shafted by Vile in the last tournament. And, honestly, she could have done something. Vile snuck out that victory. But we'll be going right into round one. Now, though I say that about Mami having a good run last time, it definitely is the case that 2B was pretty strong herself. I believe Yomu went on to either third place or at least semifinals. So these are both pretty strong competitors. Well, hopefully Mami is a pretty strong competitor. Right now, it's a little bit of a one-sided beating, because as we saw with Swordplay, our previous tournament, 2B has incredible range. Not just with that little drone shooting out bullets every now and then, but those swords are fucking huge! Like, I get that it's supposed to be a big flashy DMC, like, combo sword game. You throw opponents around, this and that. And, but like, the swords are so big that she needs multiple. She's got the big sword, she's got the smaller sword, and she's got a giant spear. Now, to be fair in Mami's regard, she can just spawn as many guns as she wants. That is, in fact, what the magical girls can do. That being said, it doesn't seem like she's able to summon too many of them, considering this drastic percentage lead that 2B has right now. We're about halfway into the match, but 2B kind of hasn't been doing much. Like, she's been attacking, sure, but coins? Nothing. And that's a KO! What is she doing? What's 2B doing out there? We're seeing her dealing, honestly, most of the attacks. It's kind of a big misplay on 2B's half, where she's doing all the attacking, but because her range is so big, she's immediately going for those attacks, regardless of whether or not they will land. Or rather, regardless of the closeness that she's getting. Right now, Mami is stuck on the lower platform and is just going to wait it out. She's not going to wait it out. She wanted to fight this fairly. Let's put this forward. Regardless of how this turns out, Mami Tomoe wanted to fight this fair. She wanted to get back onto the stage. We have only 25 seconds left. They're taking it back to the lower van, taking it back up. 2B is able to recover from that. And right now, the coins are close. With how low the coin count has been this entire match? What? A kill into SC in the last few seconds? And it's almost looking to be 2B as the winner. I mean, for the Mami Tomoe fans, you hate to see it, but I think she went down in good spirit. She could have stayed on that platform the entire time. She could have stayed there, but she wanted to fight. She was in this for the spirit of the competition. To follow up that act, we have Sanji versus Ike. We've got kicks and we've got swords. We've got a few swords going on here, just because, you know, one of the last tournaments were all about swords. So we're not really gonna be getting out of that for a while. We're at a pretty interesting stage. I forget which Coliseum this is, but traditional kill tactics will not work as well here. And additionally, you need a pretty good recovery if you're sent any medium distance away. The blast zones are not too far away. Competitors are really going to just be having a straight brawl in the center field. Ike is dealing a lot of damage and dropping a lot of coins. Wait. more of these one-sided you charge up the move, but there's no forced release, so Ike just kind of stays in that move. He was able to stop Sanji at one point. It was thinking, you know, I'll just keep him there. I'll keep him there. If this unarmed guy is willing to throw the fight just for now, then that's fine. But nope, Sanji's right back into it. He doesn't care. Sanji's fought crazier shit, I'm sure. I've never seen One Piece, but all I really know is that the further you get into One Piece, the more giant the characters get. Like, there get to be characters twice Luffy's size, and then 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And they're just normal people. They're just normal people in that world, and it doesn't even matter. Sanji's down to fucking throw kicks with anyone, and is getting the KO a good 2 minutes into the match. It's not going to do much unless they get that gold that's sitting around. We've got a 150 to 124 coin count. Sanji is putting in a pretty good effort, but it's not like Ike is any slouch here either. Like, this is a huge contrast from the last match, where like the highest coin count was what, 60, 70? We're nearing 200. I mean, sure, it helps that the stage is closed in, but it also just goes to show what some of these competitors can really do. 2B is all about dealing combos. These fighters, they're sending you far. They are killing you. Ike is at 2... Spoke too soon. 155. 155. That's what I was gonna say. Sanji is due for a KO, but if he can live in these last 12 seconds, Ike final smash. I think that's it for Sanji. I think that's it for Sanji. And that's gonna leave Ike in the lead. It was too close for Sanji to avoid. Moving on to the second round with a final smash cleanup is Ike. Good match, good match. Honestly, that was just a solid match. Following that, we have Thor Does Thor count as the god of lightning? I forget what Marvel or Capcom or whatever does with their Thor. Is he like the god of lightning? Because up against him, we've got the god of thunder. Well, we've got the god of thunder versus the goddess of light. We've got a real holy match going on here. And they're taking it to the Cell Games Arena. No falling off the stage here. Right now, Palutena, I suppose a little bit too rusty, not experienced in combat, as the giant Thor is just kicking her down. Thankfully, this isn't a stage with ledges, because did you just see that warp from Palutena? That did absolutely nothing. She is recovering high. I suppose she's trying to stall out the match a little bit. She's kind of trying to avoid getting hit. Because we did just see earlier, Palutena does have some good moves. She has good, glowy, flashy moves that deal good damage, good knockback, but she's not using them a lot. She's just, you know, throwing around her staff, throwing around her shield, maybe trying to retaliate with a kick of her own. Like, Palutena, I don't think you're winning with Braung in this match. I don't think you're winning with Braung. I think you gotta fight this thunder with some real light. In a match like this, Chris better equip the Sky Mantle. That you're just making shit up. The Sky Mantle ain't a thing. We've got both of the opponents on the ropes halfway through the match. The way I see it, they're going to get this one more KO on each other, and then it's just going to be a straight match from there on. They're kind of taking a while to even get KO'd. If I'm in Palutena's position, I'm fine getting KO'd first. If anything, I'm just running off the stage. I'm running off the stage. Actually, no, because Thor isn't even doing that much. He doesn't have that much kill potential, does he? Okay, there's the kill. And Palutena getting back onto the stage, grabbing almost all of her gold. She is back at a very comfy position, so that once Thor self-destructs, Palutena has a strong lead. Palutena with a 70 coin lead. Thor is he's gonna need to work some of that Thunder God magic that he had at the start of this match if he really wants to, you know, keep in this tournament. And we are kind of seeing it. 183 to 225. It's a less than 30 coin difference. Okay, Palutena is keeping her distance. Palutena is keeping her coin distance. She has the final smash on deck. Does she use it? Does she need it? Does she need it is the question. It's the black hole into beam. That's an additional KO. And it is a Palutena sweep. Incredible. Leave it to Palutena. She does strategize for all of Pit's missions. So having Thor, you know, just the guy who goes in there, punches shit, throws his hammer, it was no match. To follow that, we have Count Bleck versus Magolor. And you know, at first I was kind of just thinking, you know, oh yeah, they're two magic guys with two capes. But then as I'm putting this together, I'm realizing they're both two characters who play a villain role who kind of really get taken over by the dark force that they were trying to use to gain power. Obviously, you say, like, you know, different ends, like Count Bleck, spoilers for Super Paper Mario, I guess. Count Bleck was just trying to destroy the world because he's sad that his lover was killed off. But Magolor was just like, yeah, I want more power. I want more power. I'm getting this crown. And it just ended up controlling him. And it kind of turned into an evil final boss from there. And then he came back and was like, oops, sorry guys. And that was an early KO from Count Bleck. I wasn't paying attention to what move he was doing. Was it just the Mr. L up smash? Like, Magolor was working some magic at the start of the match, and is working a bit more right now. Unfortunately, not a lot of those coins ended up back on the stage. Well, Count Black massively dodging all of these, or it's just Magolor underestimating his fucking abilities. And Count Black is off the stage. It's another low coin count match. So honestly, a lot can change at any moment. Count Black is really going to need to lean on these what would you call them? Disciples, apostles of the Dark Prognosticus to help him out here. Oh, is that? Oh, I see what that is. That's a slow effect. He's slowing down Magolor. And Magolor can't recover from it. Okay, we've got a real oh no. What? Huh? Did the match just crash? I can pause it. It just crashed. Okay. That's okay. No. Okay. No. So what are we at here? They're finishing this one way or another. We have 36 Count Black to Magolor 45. They have 1:16 on the match. They're playing an additional match, 1 minute. I'm not having them bail out of this. No. They have 1 minute on the clock. They have 1 minute on the clock. They're finishing it off here. Whatever coin counts they have now is being added to their coin counts from before. I'm not letting them break out of this. 20-second time penalty. And right now, Magolor is kind of pissed off. Magolor is pissed off that Count Black was trying to cheese the match by just causing an automatic match end with that freeze. He is basically already passing up the coin count he was at, taking no damage, virtually no damage. Count Black doing nothing. You take Magolor to a flat stage, you fucked up. Magolor is ripping through Count Black. We are seeing no more of that cheap slowdown effect. He's gonna think twice before trying to pull a move like that. Moving on to the next round is Magolor. God damn. All right, let me fix the timer again. Up to 3 minutes. And next up, we have Edward Elric versus Korone. Hopefully our competitors are going to be a little bit more cooperative in this match. You know, that was a bit of an unfortunate circumstance. Ed doesn't catch a break anywhere. Can I just say this right now? Ed doesn't catch a break anywhere. He is even shorter than the dog VTuber. And let's not mention what a short and pitiful recovery that is. Goodness gracious. He's gonna want to stay on the right side on the Among Us map stage. Or Korone just spikes him again. This is the longest we've been in a match with the lowest coin count. What is going on? We've got a short competitor, short recovery, and small coin counts. Fate's just working against Ed here. I couldn't make this up if I tried. All right, he got a KO. Coin counts are up. He's up to 35, 34. He's in the lead for now. I feel like Korone, she threw out a few surprising moves that I think she's gonna throw out again. Like, she's wave dashing. She's got a proper wave dash going on. And combos! Goodness gracious! Like, oh my god, I'm really looking at that up special of hers. That is deadly. That's basically just a better Link up special. And she can cancel it midway. Oh my goodness gracious. Like, Koronge gets the slightest amount of percent on you, and on a stage like this, where the Blackstones are, honestly, they feel pretty close, she is just, it's just carrying you right up to the sky. She gets the bat that sends upwards, more upwards than out. Ed's trying to dodge all of this. He's small enough to get around some of it, and he is recovering his coin counts just enough. But he needs to be able to hold on to these two. An 83 close match, but that's 1 KO on Koronge. But all of the coins just dropped off to the side. What is Ed gonna do in these last 30 seconds? Is he gonna be able to hold on to these coins? Or is he gonna fall for the trap yet again? Wait, Koronge, final smash? And he's done. He's done for. Ed's done for, unless it's a KO right here. Ed, you need to use your final smash. What? What the hell was that? Ed! Well, okay. Moving on to the second round is Koronge. Oops. Alright, well, another website error. Another website error. We'll get to that in a moment. For now, we will go on to the next match of Yoshikaga Kira versus where is she? Weiss. Weiss is looking for a bit of redemption. She got bodied by Cloud Strife in the Swordplay tournament. Unfortunately, with her intro line, "Let's fight fair and with honor," I don't think that's Kira's thing. I mean, he is a very simple man who lives a very simple life. But he will do anything to keep his stress free. He will do anything if it means keeping his life in the order that he has set up. One high school question mark girl is not going to get in the way of that. Or at least that's what he's looking for right now. The coin counts are close in the first 40 seconds. Weiss is putting up a proper fight against Kira. Unfortunately, she still needs to be able to get around the stand against Killer Queen. She has some special abilities of her own, but she's really going to need to, oh my god, I was thinking of the wrong high school anime right there. I need a drink. I need a drink. I was about to say she's gonna need to go plus ultra. Deku isn't even in the running. Deku didn't win anything. She got a KO, which is good. Not good. All of those coins just dropped off the side. And Kira fell off the bottom. Okay. Sure. Whatever. Where's the... whatever. I mean, Weiss is in a pretty good position right now. Nearly 100 coins in the lead, but she's going to lose a lot of those coins once Kira inevitably gets the KO. She's been sent flying a few too many times for her to stay strong. So the coin counts are now back to close. Kira's going to... Kira may have fallen down so far, but if he's been smart, if he's playing it smart and he's learning his competitor here, then he should have a strategy. But Weiss is just too fucking strong. Weiss knows what she's doing. Weiss has so much more battle experience than Kira. Let's be real. With Kira, it's just like the one, like the couple weeks where he was involved with Josuke and everyone else. Weiss, battles are her whole life. The coin counts are, it's going back and forth. It's going back and forth. Last 5 seconds. Weiss is in a slight lead. Does she keep it? And she keeps it with one final blow just for the style points. Weiss moves on to round 2. I should move on from this. I should move on from that music. Alright, who won the last one? It was Korone. Alright. And the swords are not over yet. We have Link versus Ephraim, who technically has a spear. Now, it is interesting to see how many of these competitors, well, I suppose there always has to be someone who's lost against the person who wins the tournament. There's always that person. Right now, it is Ephraim, who lost against, oh, I believe he was in second draw? Oh goodness, I'm starting to mix everything up. Yeah, no, he was in second draw, and he lost against, the second place, Terry Bogard. Link, what is this new, after image you've got going on? Is that a debuff or a buff? Is Ephraim pulling some tricks here? Are we getting more tricks like we saw with, Count Black? But, you know, besides the, obviously modern-ish sci-fi stage, it is nice to see just a classic straight blade battle between two medieval knights. I mean, one of them is a prince, one of them is just... Link, honestly, not even a knight. Rarely is Link ever a proper knight. I believe he's a proper knight in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But almost every other time, he's just some country bum who picks up a sword. Like, he just lives in the woods, lives in some fuck-ass town, and then he just saves the day. He gets enough equipment to save the day because he's just brave enough. He's got the spirit. Unfortunately, as we're halfway through the match, I don't think Link has any spirit, as Ephraim is at a stunning 234 coins versus Link's piddly 60. Link, you know what you're doing here, right? Link, you know what you're supposed to be doing, right? Is the spear simply stronger? Hang on, what's the... Oh my goodness. The Fire Emblem type chart, of course. Axe beats spear, but spear beats sword. That's how it is. Ephraim has had an advantage this entire match. And all that gold has been dropped. What does Link do? He picks up some of it, but doesn't pick up all of it. Both final smashes on deck. And it's a whiff on both. Call this match 4 swords because the Link's coin count fits 4 times into Ephraim's. Not so much anymore. Link did finally get a KO, but it's still 300. Ephraim is a stunningly strong fighter. This is exactly why we have these rerun tournaments. Sometimes whoever it was that lost against the tournament winner, or tournament second place in this case, turned out to be cracked. We saw it in an earlier rerun tournament with Konata and Boyfriend. That was a crazy match. But yep, simple as that. Ephraim moves on to the next round. The Hero of Time is out. And to close out round 1, we have Hoshino versus Gooey. Now, there's a lot riding on this match, I'll be honest. Hoshino, personal favorite of mine. Gooey, the last hope for the Kirby representatives. Every single Kirby character that has gone into a tournament so far has lost round 1, and then in their rerunner tournament, lost round 1 again, or lost round 2. Gooey is possibly the last chance of hope for the Kirby representatives, for the Kirby fans at home. Meanwhile, I can't find myself to cheer for him as much personally because there's Hoshino on screen. Oh my god, that's right! Megalore! Megalore is here! I forgot about Megalore. Megalore had some crazy sauce going on. Megalore has to get past round 2 here. Megalore has to get past round 2. But that's not this match. That's not this match. We have Hoshino versus Gooey. And right now, Gooey's kind of pulling it in. And Hoshino falling off the stage. I guess Gooey's a little bit too cute. A little bit too unfamiliar with this kind of competitor. Gooey is up to 88%. Hoshino just can't land a move. Except for that one. Hoshino, stay on the stage. Don't fall off. Unfortunately, that is a KO off the bottom. Gooey still retains that coin lead. And right now, it's basically back to 0. Hoshino's gonna need to put in some work to catch up. And Gooey just needs to keep doing as usual. Keep up the pace. The problem with Hoshino that she's facing, she keeps throwing herself off the stage, for one thing. But the other thing is she just doesn't drop enough coins. Gooey isn't dropping a lot of coins himself either, but he's still moving around and picking up most of his own. And then Hoshino throws herself off the stage. It's that singular up special move. She doesn't hold back on it. And it's tragic. It's truly tragic. She might get another KO here, which is technically her second KO. But because of how far these blast zones are, Gooey doesn't die off the side. It's just off the bottom. Hoshino grabs the gold. Does she hold on to it for the rest of the match, though? There's a... It's close. In these last 15 seconds. 120 to 111. 126 to 113. We're going up. Hoshino final smash on deck. Does she use it? Gooey rocks. Gooey pulls out the rock, and that's all he needs. Gooey is not moving on. The last hope is in fact Megalore, as I forgot earlier. Hoshino moves on to round 2. And with that, we'll be going on to round 2. We have, starting us off, 2B with a moderate but impressive showing versus Ike, who honestly was just all bronze in that previous match we saw against Sanji. That was nuts. I did remember to turn on my microphone. Okay. I thought I forgot. But we're okay. We're good. What's going on the screen? What happened? Why do I see the... I think something broke, fellas. I'm gonna give it 10 more seconds. But I think it broke. Okay. I'm pretty sure it broke. So, I'll have to boot that up again. Hopefully it was just something with whatever stage they were going to. Why were there two Marios? Why were there two Marios? Alright, and on to round 2. We have 2B versus Ike. 2B kind of lucked out with her first match, but Ike also a little bit lucked out, but he's on home turf. You know, maybe that'll help him out. A little bit of, as home turf as you can really get. I don't think there's any, what is it? What Fire Emblem game is he from? It's not Gaiden. It's not Gaiden. Either way, he's a swordsman of the people, so I'm sure Colosseum isn't too unfamiliar for him. But, similarly, 2B kind of fights anywhere. It doesn't matter where the battle is. The battle could be on an entire moving platform, a giant moving machine for a stray example, you know, and she's fine. She's doing it. And it's seeming like, despite Ike being able to drop significantly more coins, the range on 2B's blades is just enough to keep him away, but not entirely away, as Ike sneaks out a KO. That is a surprisingly low blast zone for this stage, and is definitely going to contribute to the flow of this battle. There's all sorts of stages up here in this competition. Some a little bit more legal than others, but you know, we take all of them. It wouldn't be interesting if it was all just Final Destination or Battlefield or Animal Crossing, you know? There needs to be some variety. So, about halfway into the match, and the coin counts have kind of evened out between their two first matches, between stupidly high and stupidly low. We're kind of nearing 100, but it's not really doing too much for them. 2B is making full use of these platforms and her extended blade range to get out all of these blows on Ike, but Ike is making full use of how small this stage is and is getting all of the KOs that he needs. We've got 77 to 76. And 2B is a little bit stunned. 2B's trying to find her way through, but it's not working. Ike is thinking. Ike is preparing. Ike is trying to figure out what his next move is for this one coin difference. This is the internal anime monologue moment. And 2B is somehow completely falling for it, and 2B. Like, if this was in Ike's favor, if Ike was the one who was one coin up, then that would have been a genius play. But he isn't. In fact, he's still one coin down in the very end of the match, as 2B wins. You know what? Good for her. You know what? I'm glad 2B is winning. Nier Automata, great game. Man, just... I still can't believe what Ike just did there. Ike, what the hell was going on? Ike, what was going on? We got Palutena versus Magalore. Palutena, don't choose the same stage you're winning first round. You need something with platforms. Palutena, you need something with platforms. I think Palutena's the underdog here. Okay. 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 So, in these first 10 seconds, did we get a flash of what the rest of this match is gonna look like? Anybody else get, like, an ominous feeling? I mean, Palutena is still landing some blows. Palutena is still doing something. Palutena was aiming for the Yoshi coin that's on top of Yoshi Burger, but it is unfortunately not a real coin on part of this. Yeah, on one hand, this is a flat stage, which seems to be Magolor's bread and butter. It's as flat as can be, but on the other, there is a giant platform. It's a solid one, and if Magolor just keeps spamming that upward spike move, then he may be able to get away with this. But he just keeps throwing shit out. He just has everything going on. See, again, I'll always say it. The blast zones matter. The stage variety matters. If that was the previous stage, a Ring of Ferox, Magolor would have gotten that kill without that second hit whatsoever. On a different stage, that second hit would have KO'd guaranteed. But Palutena was far up there. Palutena is touching the clouds in that blast zone. Which I suppose is her home turf. I suppose she's giving herself some credit here. But right now, it is not looking good for the holy believers of light against one devious little orb. Would we say that Magolor counts as a corb, a CORB cat orb? Because like those little tufts on his head, those aren't like part of his hat. That's his ears. He has ears, or at least things that we would call ears. I mean, if you really think about it, is Magolor secretly an NZ? You know, from Kirby 64, one of the little dark matter thingies. This isn't the place for that. Magolor's at 233. Palutena's at 78. Palutena, okay. Here's Palutena's win condition. She gets a KO. She grabs all of the gold that spills onto the stage because there's no pits. Palutena needs to get that KO. And this isn't going to do it. The black hole isn't going to do it. Not in the last 5 seconds. A dominating lead held the entire match. Magolor moves on. We have our first match of semifinals, and it's time to see what our second match of semifinals will stack up to be. As we have Korone versus Weiss Schnee. Now, Korone, we saw some very strong combos from her. Like, all of her moves kind of flow right into another. Weiss, she didn't necessarily have any strong combos per se, but she did have just strong enough moves. Now, knowing the coin count from that first match with Weiss and Kira, it could have gone either way, really. Weiss had the slight advantage, but that was about it. Korone here, dangerously going far off the stage. She is all for it if she can get the KO. Weiss is not looking too good here. I was looking at the coin counts, I was like, oh, well, that's recoverable. I'm looking at the percentages, and that's not recoverable. Weiss, this isn't... Okay, well, I can't really say she's unarmed. She's pulling out a bat. She's pulling out a golf club. She's pulling out a goddamn chainsaw. She's got punching gloves. She gets the KO, but KOs herself in turn. She gets the KO at what cost? None of the coins were gained, and in fact, coins that Weiss dropped, she just picked right back up. the stage is not to her advantage. Could it be said that Weiss picked this one? Is that possible? Or did Korone just want the, she wanted the nice Mario stage? Mario Wonder is a good game. I only played it once. Unfortunately, it's one of those games that you only play once. Like, that's not just me, right? You know, like, Mario games should be fun to be replayed. Mario Wonder, maybe under, you know, restrictions, you know, limiting yourself somehow. Korone falling under the CPU of special, the smart AI syndrome, where they believe that up special is their best move when their opponent is just slightly above them, when they can just jump. They can just jump and use any other move. But instead, nope, they're on the ground, opponent is above, up special. And it has destroyed Korone several times now. We saw it with Hoshingo previously, but she managed to squeak out a win. Meanwhile, Weiss is strong here. I was doubting her at the beginning. I wasn't familiar that, you know what? Here's what it is. It's a water stage. Weiss has ice. It just makes sense. She's basically at her home turf. A final smash isn't gonna do much here. Okay, I was seeing a flash before my eyes. Korone picked up just enough gold. But that's not the case. That's not the reality we live in. That's a different reality. Weiss moves on to semi-finals. Making a proper good showing. And going up against Weiss, we will see between Ephraim and Hoshingo. Now, Hoshingo, we honestly haven't seen a good showing from him. Ephraim, we've seen an incredibly strong showing. However, this was the stage that Ephraim first appeared on, and lost. It'll be interesting to see if that kind of stage fright is going to get to him, or if he's going to conquer his fears, if he's going to stand tall, stand strong, and take that victory that was his. Right now we're seeing, again, it's that smart AI special deficiency where they just see opponent above, on ground, up special. Ephraim is at a coin deficit here, but has a strong enough recovery to make it back safely. I believe Hoshingo also has a strong enough recovery to make it back safely. Unfortunately, I think we're going to see her use that up special more off stage than back onto stage. It's that is honestly going to be Ephraim's game plan here. If he knows his opponent is prone to SDs in the past, then he has to play to that. He has to play near the edge where he can recover and try and bait out those SDs. It may not get him the coins because Hoshingo is just going to drop all of those coins off stage, but it'll still get her low enough because with these coin counts, you know, the 95 to 39, that's still low enough to manage. Additionally, I want to point this out. To increase the metagame, it is not good that Ephraim is living this long. At 173%, he's not dealing any percent himself, really. He just keeps getting sent flying. He needs to get KO'd so that he can just stay on stage for once. All of this time is being wasted with Ephraim trying to recover. If these blast zones were any closer, he would be out of it. Ephraim the hero, the hero prince, he's not the hero prince, that's Marth. He's too determined for his own good. Hoshingo is up to 116%, or rather 122 coins. Ephraim at a measly 40 coins Headframe needs this KO in these last 25 seconds, or it's going to be all over for him. That incredible first match, all for nothing. They're stalling it out. Hoshingo is waiting on the other side. And there's the SC! But it's still not enough. It's still not enough. Hoshingo just throwing it in, not to jinx the entire match. She didn't want a good KO. And so, 49 coins to 88 coins. Hoshingo moves on to the semi-finals. Also, hi Zara, how's it going? Welcome into the tournament. You're just in time to make it to the semi-finals. Oh, I wasn't showing that the entire time. Oh well, I can show this part. Alright, so with that, we have 2B, a steady and strong competitor this entire tournament, versus Magolor, possibly shaping up to be, honestly, shaping up to be the winner here. The last time we've seen moves this fast, this strong, this dominating was with Peppino, honestly. Like, we haven't really had a competitor like this in the past who was just everywhere. Magolor's everywhere. And while he doesn't have as big and strong of moves as Peppino did, Magolor has those bomb apples to throw around. 2B trying to get some early percent with the pod beam, with a little bit of a pod blast. But unfortunately, she's kind of stalling herself out. Actually, I take that back. It is a valid strategy to fatten up the opponent, all for some good coin gain. However, it's a little bit more risky on a stage like this. As we saw before, these blast zones are incredibly far. Like, that kind... You can't recover from that. 2B is going to need to stay on the stage just as much as Magolor is. 2B, again, trying to play it too strong, trying to get the KO, but you can't do that on this stage. Magolor, on the other hand, is actually struggling to get in. It doesn't matter too much because, you know, he can just throw bomb apples like that. He's picking up all the coins that are getting dropped from himself. It doesn't necessarily matter if he's able to, you know, hold on to coins if he's just Magolor? It's actually a problem with Magolor? Oh, come on now. Alright. I'm jotting this down. They get another two... No. It's too early in the match. It wasn't even... We were falsely blaming Count Bleck. Just as the heroes of Paper Mario were falsely blaming Count Bleck for the ends of all worlds. He was just a little bit moody. Alright. I think, for the sake of moving forward, I need to pick stages for Magolor. Pirate Land, I think might do it. Alright, we're taking it back from the top. Unfortunately, oh my god, I've had the technical difficulties on the screen this entire time. Awesome. Cool. Okay. Well. Either way, we have our match. We have Magolor in the lead. No, the technical difficulties ended a while ago. They ended several matches ago. Either way, with this stage, Magolor shouldn't have as much of an issue. That is an unfortunate bug that, in testing, I've never seen that. I've seen Magolor in action. I've never actually seen that problem because I suppose he's just never died off the side. He's usually been KO'd, or rather, died off the bottom. He's usually been KO'd off the side or the top. He is pretty light. Like, he is just a Kirby character. He's a light and fluffy little guy. He also has a decent recovery. So, like, again, that is a strange happenstance. Now oh my goodness, every time Megalor gets close to the side of the stage, I'm a little bit worried now. See, KO him off the top. That's fine. Get that gold, 2B. If Megalor doesn't win this, that's on him. He was doing plenty flying on the last stage. But then he decided to break the game. You're kidding me. Okay. I'm giving Megalor one more chance. I'm giving Megalor one more chance. They get a minute left. 2B, 60 coins. Megalor, 52. If he falls off the stage again, he's getting disqualified. He can't be a sore loser like this. You know what? Fine. Take it to Dreamland. Take it to Dreamland. So basically, by the end of this match, Megalor needs not just more coins, but 8 more coins. It's simple math going into this. And honestly, the thing is, he might pull it off. He's already plenty much at that lead. But you never know. You never know with this guy, I guess. You trust him once. You trust him once, shame on Megalor. You trust him twice, shame on us. Tubi, I'm cheering for you. Tubi, I'm cheering for you at this point. Send him off the bottom of the stage. We're waiting for it, Tubi. But unfortunately not. Unfortunately, Megalor, after losing steam... Oh my goodness. What a little sack of shit. What a little sack of shit. Okay, Megalor, go to the finals. However, he gets no more. Megalor gets no more gimmies. Because in every single time we've reset the match, given him one more minute, he sweeps it. If in the finals, whoever he fights in the finals, if he falls off the stage and breaks the match again, that's a disqualification. We cannot keep having that. So, to see who is joining him in the finals, we have Weiss versus versus Hoshingo. We've got High School Blade versus High School Gun. All right. We've got an interesting stage here. We've got a DMC stage. There's plenty of platforms. And plenty of height that Weiss is already making some advantage of. Or rather, taking some advantage of. Now, it will be interesting to see, for the Hoshino believers, if she's going to see the platforms on the side and decides to, like, you know, hold back a little bit towards those when trying to aimlessly up special off the stage. Maybe those will save her. Maybe not. We'll see. Either way, honestly, that may be more of a deciding factor than Weiss's own abilities. Because, I think Hoshino just wins Well, Weiss has some spunk herself. Weiss hasn't made it this far in nothing. Weiss has probably been the most straightforward and honorable fighter in this tourney right now. In this tourney today. But Hoshino is just strong. And I suppose Weiss heard me because she's a little bit upset. And dealt all that damage. Didn't really do much. Hoshino kind of just fell off on her own. And that's a KO. Hoshino retaliates with her own KO. It's only an uphill battle for Weiss. Because Hoshino, like, Weiss is throwing out plenty of good moves. But then you get a combo like that from Hoshino. Wait. And Hoshino is off stage again. She falls. We got a minute left. The coin counts are close. I can't say we. I've doubted Weiss plenty this tournament. Weiss is tired of living in that humiliation in her first match, where she just got bodied. I thought she was just gonna be another flunk. But she's proving herself plenty strong. Right now, she is in the lead in the last 30 seconds. Which, that's with Hoshino not self-destructing a dozen times. We got 84 coins to... Oh no. Hoshino's off stage again, and that is down to 57 in the last 15 seconds. Weiss, you have to hold on to these coins, Weiss. You have to do anything to stay on the stage. And last 5 seconds. Just barely. Going on to the finals is Weiss Schnee. If Hoshino had just played it a little bit smarter, just used that final smash a little bit sooner, she would have been in the finals. But instead, we have our first, or rather, we first have our third place match between 2B and Hoshino, who are conveniently right next to each other in the character select screen. Let's see where they take us. To the New Rounds Rumble stage. Okay. Interesting pick, I will be honest. These blast zones are, if I recall, incredibly high up. Like, you see the bottom of the stage there when the camera cuts off? That's basically it. That's all they get. And off to the side, that's also basically it. It's a pretty big stage, or rather, it's a deceptively small stage. That's what I wanted to say here. So 2B, another simply strong fighter with a lot of range. Hoshino, well, we've seen her in action. She's almost good. She's playing with shackles, I want to say. And there it is. That's how close the blast zones are on this stage. So really, we should be seeing plenty of KOs. The coin counts are gonna go up and down and up and down. Thankfully, with these platforms, it shouldn't be too much of a hassle for Hoshino to stay alive. But otherwise, it might be 2B's game, honestly. She's holding a strong lead, and Hoshino does not do well against guns. She doesn't need to recover a lot of space on this kind of stage, and 2B falls off? 2B, what the hell was that? Hoshino is still high in percent, and with these blast zones, it's almost 2B's almost guaranteed getting on a KO. Like, it's gonna happen right here. Or not. Hoshino stays alive. Hoshino storms back onto the stage. And tried to stop Hoshino, or rather 2B tried to stop Hoshino from getting back onto the stage. I'm getting it backwards. 2B is in the lead. as soon as Hoshino is too far away, 2B just lands all of these sword strikes. But ironically, the one with the shotgun, the one with the gun, has to get in closer to be dealing any proper hits. There's another KO. It's 101 to 98. We're down to the last 98 seconds. Both final smashes. Honestly, the final smashes are just going to speed up the KOs. There's been so many KOs back and forth this match. And that's a KO on both ends. Technically, kind of. Hoshino grabbing just enough coins to put her in the lead. Oh, just enough to put her in a big lead. 164 to 127 in the last 5 seconds. Does 2B get a kill? Does 2B pull it back? There it is. Hoshino takes 3rd place. And now, it's time to see who will be the winner. Between Magolor, strong competitor, but very petty. He's been pulling out the plug on his controller multiple times. And we've let it fly for a little bit, but we can't let it fly forever. There has to be a limit, and it is now. If Magolor breaks the match yet again, he is disqualified. We cannot have that in this competition. And fighting him for first place in finals, we have Weiss Schnee, the underdog of this tournament, I would say. We take it to final destination. Same rules as before. Let the finals begin. Weiss's intro line, yet again, proving a lot of comedic irony here. Fight straight and fair. Magolor, who does anything but that. Magolor, who's, some would say, cheated his way forward. But it is still undeniable that he is a strong fighter. He is a strong player. Magolor does need to play this straight and fair if he actually wants to win. Because honestly, he does have a good chance. But it's not impossible for Weiss. Even now, she has the coin lead. The percentages are not that far off. She could very well win this. Magolor is the one on the back end here, whatever the word is. Magolor is at the most risk here. He is prone to these fits of rage quitting, pulling out his controller, whatever you want to call it. He just stops the match whenever he loses in a way he doesn't like. Weiss never once complained. Even in her KO line, she is not done yet. She is going to keep fighting until the very last second. Magolor with a little bit of a strange teleport there. We've seen strange teleports before. Wait, Magolor is off stage? He makes it back. The match is still on, and he gets KO'd right back. He's at least keeping it straight. He can throw out whatever tricks he wants. It's still a close match. Weiss is doing everything in her power and makes incredible recoveries. I swear that was just slightly pixels close enough to actually make that one ledge grab. Magolor is in a lead as we get to the last 50 seconds of the match. Has 50% less, but what is that? 30 coins more. 40 coins more. Weiss, you're going to need to not just live, but also pull in a good KO. While Magolor, stay on the stage, man. Stay on the stage. We're down to our last 25 seconds. Weiss needs that KO, but she keeps getting sent further away. I forget which match it was. It was the match that Frame lost against Toshino, where he kept getting sent further and further into the sky. Megalor is trying to pull that same tactic to try and stall out the match. White's has her final smash, but is she gonna use it? It's not in time! It's not in time! The winner of the third Rerunners tourney is Megalor. Oh, you hate to see it for the underdog. The one who could have brought justice to this tournament, honestly. But instead, this sneaky little bastard makes his way through.